So in this video, we are going to analyze 5 mistakes that Tecno has made so far in this 2021. I just hope they will see this video, because if they should really pay attention to this video, it will help them to improve a whole lot in the coming years. Now let's dive into number 1. You see, Tecno made the Phantom X and Camon 17 Pro and powered both smartphones with similar chipsets, which was a terrible mistake. So both smartphones are powered by MediaTek Helio G95 chipsets. That was a complete off-key. It was kind of a mess up. I will explain why. For one thing, the Phantom lineups are considered to be the company's flagship, while the Camon series are mid-range from Tecno. So by default, one would expect that the flagship Phantom X would be more premium in all areas and even have a more sophisticated chipset that will perform far better than the mid-range Camon 17 Pro. But that wasn't the case. Instead, when you compare the Phantom X to the Camon 17 Pro, both smartphones have the same chipset, the same RAM size, the same storage option, and even run on similar software version out of the box. So basically, you'll be having similar performance from both smartphones. Considering the fact that the Phantom X is more expensive, way more expensive than Camon 17 Pro, and also both smartphones have the same performance, it will make it easy for one to purchase the cheaper one and leave the most expensive flagship device. It was as if Tecno was shooting itself in the feet. That was a terrible mistake on Tecno's part. Number 2 mistake, do you know the Tecno Camon 17 was part of the Android 12 beta program? In fact, I made a video on that for those ready to upgrade their smartphone to Android 12 later in the year. The Camon 17 will cost you 76,000 naira to purchase, and you can upgrade it to Android 12 later in the year. Now, here's the twist. The Tecno Phantom X that will cost you 4 times the price of the Camon 17 won't be getting an upgrade to Android 12. Now, that brings up the question, what is really flagship about the Phantom X after all, if it won't be upgrading, whereas the cheaper standard Camon 17 would be the smartphone to get an upgrade to Android 12? Well, Tecno had a lot of questions to answer about that. It was a terrible mistake anyway. The third one would be the marketing strategy and pricing. Do you know the Tecno Phantom X price was not uniform? For example, those in Eastern Africa, converting the price of the Phantom X, the local currency, to dollars, US dollars, it would be around $450 US. Now, if you're in Western Africa and you convert the local price to American USD, it will fall between $540 to $550. That is $100 price difference. So the price wasn't uniform. That is one thing to think of. But even if that was the big deal, let's just go with the $450 that the smartphone was priced in Eastern Africa. A smartphone that is powered by MediaTek Helio G95 chipset, $450. Now, do you know what? Let's compare it to other smartphones in the market, like the Realme GT that is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 chipset, the most premium flagship chipset in the world, good performance, better camera. That smartphone will cost you $420. Now let's take it to Xiaomi Poco F3. The Xiaomi Poco F3 with Snapdragon 870 chipset would cost you $329. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro with 108 megapixel and Snapdragon 720G chipset will cost you even way lesser than this. So those Snapdragon chipsets will perform better than MediaTek Helio G95 chipsets, and still they are cheaper than the Tecno Phantom X. So if you are a tech savvy, you really want to buy a smartphone that is powered by Snapdragon chipset, because it will perform better in all areas. Considering the region that Tecno is more dominant, the Africa and Asia region, those are regions that lives on budget. So Tecno made a big mistake by overpricing the smartphone in those regions. So why was the Phantom X so expensive? That brings us to number 4 reason. Could it be because of the celebrity hype? For example, in Western Africa, when the smartphone was launched, a lot of celebrities comedians, entertainers, actresses, and all were at the launch event. And prior to that day, Tecno sent a unit of the Phantom X to them. That means Tecno was spending so much trying to impress the celebrities to use their hype to sell the Phantom X. In the process, they have to pay millions of cash for them to attend the launch event, and these people are not even tech reviewers. Let me tell you, by default, no real tech enthusiast would buy a smartphone and watch its review from an actor and actress. It's impossible because those people are not experts in that field. They are entertainers, they are good, but not when it comes to tech gadgets. So Tecno reviewers, the real deal, were ignored by Tecno, and then they spend more millions on celebrities. And these people, I bet you won't even using the Phantom X. I am so sure that after that moment, they'll just switch up to their iPhones or to their Samsung smartphones. So that was a terrible mistake by Tecno, because if they had used tech reviewers, they would criticize the smartphone, constructive criticism, that would have helped Tecno to know where to fix up, so they will make improvements in their subsequent devices. That's what you see in more developed countries where, like United States for example, Apple and Samsung won't spend a lot of money on Travis Scott to review their smartphone. That would be a dumb move. So they would rather invite tech reviewers, tech YouTubers who are really more educated on those areas to be the ones to criticize the smartphones or recommend the smartphone. And then lastly, before we talk about that, I really want to commend Tecno because they've really stepped up when it comes to their hardware production. But hardware is just part of the story. To get a full or the glimpse picture of a smartphone being top-notch, software also plays an important role. You see, I was really disappointed when I found out that the Camon 72 will be getting an upgrade to Android 12, whereas the Phantom X, the so-called flagship, after waiting for 2 years to get the Phantom X and still having a year software update, major software update, is still not something they could achieve. It was just so disappointing. So I'll still continue to send this message to Tecno over and over again, and I hope they'll listen to me. Do well and fix software issues, please. Like, we want your, even if it's not the entry-level smartphone, for example, Samsung, for example, this is a Samsung smartphone, and you know to be having 2 years of major software updates. This is not a mid-range smartphone. This is an entry-level device from Samsung, and it'll give you 2 years software update. Android 12, Android 13 is setting, and you have to, like, the Phantom X is 4 times more expensive or 3 times more expensive than this, and it will get 1 Android software update. It's disappointing. So I keep saying the message that Tecno should fix up when it comes to software updates. So these are the 5 terrible mistakes that Tecno has made or Tecno is still making. But let me know if there's anyone I skip. I didn't mention in the comment section. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and turn the post bell. You can follow me on social media at MyHD on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I will link it below in the description. Just click it and follow me straight up. Alright, thanks for watching. Now see you around in my next one.